I think it can. Yes, it can. No.
Oh, 5.
I think it can. Yes, it can. No.
Oh, 5.
I think it can. There we go. Now I'm going to turn that sound off so that I can not hear crazy feedback. Okay, the show's starting. We'll give it
Very nice
a
picture.
few minutes, then we'll actually get started. This we'll call pre-show. For anyone interested in the pre-show, it is happening.
That is a very nice picture you've got there.
I quite like it.
Did you draw it?
No, sadly no. I got it from... Where did I get it from? Oh, let's see, the League of Legends files, because it is, of course, Maokai splash art with some minor tweaking. Being yellow
Twiggy.
writing and some pictures.
Twiggy's hiding behind his leg.
Yes, he is. Twiggy is a boss. Greetings and salutations and welcome all to the League of Legends Patch Podcast with myself, Ahrtimmer, also known as Will, but for the most part, Ahrtimmer. And this guy. You're supposed to introduce yourself now.
Oh, right. Hi, my name is Daniel, or E331, and I didn't hear your intro, so I don't know what else to say after that. I'm just looking at something else.
Yeah. His name's Reverse. He's a long-time buddy of mine. And how long ago did we get you started on LoL?
Couple of months, maybe?
Couple of months. Yeah, he's
Even
power leveled him like a boss to level 30, and so all he needs to do now is practice. He's pretty much on our level, which makes me feel bad that he got there that quickly and it took me like a year.
I remember your brother telling me that it was once you get to level 21 or something, it's gonna get really annoying. I get to level 21, it's like it's still fun, and then like a week later I'm level 30.
Yup. You did play it a lot that week, I ain't gonna lie. My other host is the one and only Real Impact, and he's not here. Kinda rage-inducing. I don't know, but the show must go on. It will and will always continue onwards. Or at least this time. We'll see how much of a flop this is. Yeah. Just a quick note, post in the chat window on the right-hand side of your screen. I will be answering almost every single question because, well, not a lot of people are going to be watching this. So feel free to fill the chat room with, well, chat. Other than that, this, of course, is my first Patch podcast. It's my first podcast ever. I don't know what I'm doing. I am slightly nervous, so I'm probably going to ramble for a little bit.
Can you call it a podcast? It's on this site.
I can try. The TGS podcast is on this site. It's mostly audio. I mean, you can go off and not even look at this page for all I care. So long as you're listening to it, I'm happy. Heck, even if you listen to about 5 minutes and leave because it's boring, I'm ecstatic because somebody cared for 5 minutes.
Yes. Hey, should we give a shout out to that guy on that? Let's see if he's going to watch, if he's watching.
If I could pronounce his name, I would.
Oh, we have a question.
We do have a question. Are you really going to answer all your questions? Shut up. Reevesy and the White Maelstrom. Reevesy asks, are you going to answer all your questions? I will if they're reasonable and not too personal and you don't spam the chat window. Also, Maelstrom, boop is not a question.
Tell him that. You're disappointed.
So,
let a man dream.
The Patch Podcast is, of course, about the League of Legends patch. Oh, frowny face. Boop. Boop with a question mark is not a question. It is, of course, about the League of Legends patch. This occurred, what was it, Wednesday?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah, Wednesday in our country, this being the country where real men live in Australia.
Which is actually quite good, not the Australia part. That is good. But League of Legends releasing the patch on Wednesday because everyone else thought it was going to be a week later. Everyone was very surprised that it came out the day after they said that they had delayed it.
Yeah. So, patch came out, and I figured, why not talk about it? Why not bring some friends along to talk about it? That's what's going to happen. So, without any further ado, we're going to be running into our very first segment. This is the patch notes. This is the bit where I read the patch notes. He's probably reading it himself, this being Danny, and Craig would if he were here.
This is where we'd cue a really good intro, not intro scene, but segment scene where it's...
Yeah, a segment intro where we have a little do like do-do-do-do-do, and run into the patch notes. But no, it's mostly just going to be me reading stuff, and then we'll talk about them as we go along. So, I've got it open in front of me. PvP.net is up to version 1.60. Normal draft mode has now got, well, solo players have a 20% chance of being the team captain with banning powers and first pick and yada yada. And if you're the host of a group of people who are going in, you absorb all of your friends' chances. Just, I will take them all. I will be the captain.
I've always kind of been confused about these, the captain thing. So I always thought that picking last would be best since you get to counterpick everyone else. Is that not how it goes? I hadn't played draft mode before. Well, not competitively anyway.
There's two parts to it. Because you can't have two of the same champion, you want to be getting the first picks because then you can get the most powerful champions at the time. So you can grab all your really OP guys. But at the same time, picking last, you can pick to counter what they've got. So if they've got a lot of AD, you can pull the Rammus.
I'd like to point out Craig's joint.
I did hear that.
Sorry about that, guys.
Real impact.
Okay.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
Oh, God.
We're putting you on the spotlight now, boy.
Yeah, we had a whole hour to prepare.
Oh, God. Sorry about that. I got to go back at work.
Real life sucks.
I'm Real Impact. I'm a student animator, and I'm the person who introduced Ahrtimmer here to League of Legends in the first
You
place.
can call me Will if you want. I spoiled that in one of my Let's Plays like a month ago.
And I ruined your name, Real Impact, right at the start.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
but
sure I did as well.
we might as well try to keep it up.
We will try to maintain the appearances of being legitimately good at what we do.
Despite this being our first time ever.
Yeah.
You're only good at things when you don't use your first real name.
It is certainly true.
So, what have we been covering so far?
We've just got started on the patch notes of League of Legends. We've just discussed how normal draft mode now has new things with 20% chance of being team captain. So it's no longer Elo based, as I believe that's how it used to work. But being normal draft, does anyone use normal draft? I don't.
Yeah.
Ranked solo and duo queues have, well, they've taken, you can't be a champion that you don't own, basically.
I remember reading about this on the forums. People have been complaining there's too many people coming in saying, oh, I played Garen in a game before and I got 20 kills, no deaths, and they come into this and just lose instantly because it's ranked.
Right, because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be playing a ranked game, ranked is where LoL is serious business. It's even solo and duo queue, when really you should have a team. Ranked is serious business and everyone's there playing to win. So if you're not playing a champion that you are really, really good and practiced, that's the important bit, practiced at, you really shouldn't be there.
I mean, fair enough, I own every champ there is, but I wouldn't go in with, say, someone like Shogat or Malphite. I don't play tanks. So why would I try going in with one of them?
Yeah. If
If
you are new to a champion, you shouldn't be playing them in a ranked game, and it's perfectly legitimate for them to say, if it's free to play and you don't own them, you don't really know the champion, we don't want you doing this, we're not going to let you. Perfectly
Definitely
legit.
It's a damn good change if you ask me.
Mm.
I mean, I know I've certainly gone into a couple of ranked games solo before, and it was a first time. I think it was an Annie at that time,
Oh,
and
dear.
they were covering our mid lane.
Oh, no.
That did not end well.
Could be worse. They could have been building DPS.
Reason, you know I'm in a podcast. Why are you inviting me to games?
You know it's bad when I was playing Aurelia that time. I ended up having to take over mid,
Yeah,
and I was doing a
Aurelia
better
can
job than
do
our
it.
Annie.
She can do it, but she's not the best. Onwards. You may now rename your buddy groups by double-clicking the name of the group.
Wait, there's buddy groups?
You didn't know this? I've got
I knew
everyone
that.
divided. Everyone is online except the people I know in real life. They are in the folder called RL.
Guys, Reevesy has given everyone invite powers and is spamming invites to me. I can't get rid of them fast enough.
You could log out of League of Legends.
Looks like that's a secret.
That would be the smart thing, and then set yourself to do not disturb.
Yes.
I pushed the wrong button. Accepted. I am now no longer in the local line, so very good. Carry on with the podcast.
They fixed a few bugs. Some buddies would appear to be level 0 with no information. I'm amazed it took them that long to fix that. I've
Yeah.
never really been a fan of PvP.net. It feels like it's got a lot of bugs and issues, but it lets me play LOL, so I can't complain too much.
Mm-hmm.
Fixed a bug where the sound at the end of Champion Select would play too loudly. How loudly was it? I'm curious. I want to know just if it was like one notch louder and no one cared.
Hey, I've experienced it firsthand.
Yeah.
Every time you would join a game,
Yeah.
and it would, I think Nick's heard this as well, every time you'd play a game and it would start, it would play that sound, the explosion noise, and the map would start loading. If you didn't close the log client, the next time you'd start a match, it would play it twice, and then the next time play it 3 times. Until if you get to about 10 games, it would play the sound 10 times. But not so much one after that, but all at once. So it's just a massive explosion.
Oh, yep.
Oh, yeah, I can see the problem there. That's a serious bug. That's an ear-breaking bug for the people who never stop playing League of Legends like myself.
Yeah, and we kind of like having our hearing.
Yeah, I
Yes.
do. It makes it easier to do conversations like this and to voice chat in-game.
Like, I mean, sure, I'm probably going to have trouble with eyesight later on down the line, but I at least want to keep my hearing in one piece.
Yes.
Yes. Fix a bug where swap offers in Champion Select would persist into your next game.
Oh.
That could have some serious ramifications if it was still in. Like, it's a bug, so I can't talk about what they've fixed, because, well, I can. If I could make this sentence make sense, it would be really, really nice, but basically I can't talk about what's new because they've taken something out.
Exactly.
So I talk about what it used to be. If that bug was still in there, like, suddenly you've got 2 Trinimirs on the same team.
I have seen many. There are many pictures on the internet where they've done that. There's pictures of like 2 Catarinas or something. Apparently,
Oh
it
god,
would
2 Catarinas! Death
it would
Lotus!
go in like it would load and then it would crash,
Oh.
which is sad. Yeah,
It's a pity that it crashed, because 2 Trinimirs suddenly endless rage. Or better yet, 2 Cho'Gaths. No, 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 I want to eat him. No, I want to eat him.
18,000 true damage.
I've just got this image of 5 Annies.
Oh, Tibbers! You wouldn't
The
stop
bears!
being stunned, and there would be, like, you'd die just by being next to the darn thing.
Oh, Sunfire Cape stacking. That's what it'll feel like.
I remember those
That's
old days of that.
The good old days of the Sunfire Cape. Now, we are going to be skipping over Darius, the Hand of Noxus. We will be discussing him at length in the next segment. So, Ash, she gets an art update.
Booyah!
Not so much. It's one of the best.
Mount
parts of the
chicka wah wah.
You
Oh,
had to
and-
make it off it, didn't you, Will?
I did.
I mean Ahrtimmer.
No, it's
Let's revive. With what you were saying about the amethyst ash skin, apparently that is updated as well.
Oh, really?
Which makes sense. It makes sense because the bow is now a bit different.
Yeah.
But mind you, though, it was still a lot closer to the new model than what the old ones were.
Now, this being my show, I'm allowed to say whatever I want. I ain't gonna lie, the original classic Ash, the bow did look kinda retarded.
Yeah.
Like,
it was pure white, was oh, not white.
It was the fact that it basically was a square. Almost. Like, it was essentially rectangular, like, there was a little bit of curve, but it was a straight midsection and then curve to the arms.
Oh, right. I remember that now.
Ah, it looked silly. Didn't look like a bow. Bows are kinda more flowy in shape. But new animations and updated splash art, we all love a new splash of color to an old champ, so this is great news.
I always look forward to seeing them when they come out, but I mean, we've only had, 3 remodels now?
Complete remodels, I think you might be right there, yeah.
Yeah, because
Gangplank,
first one was Kale.
Gangplank, and Ash are the
now
only one I
Ash.
can think of.
Gangplank used to look like. I'll look that up right
He
now.
used to have a ginormous beard. He trimmed it a little bit.
And what was the joke of the pubes from hell?
Yeah, because you take a look at the splash art of the old Gangplank. The beard is more attached to his chest and has this serious snail trail thing going on. We're pretty sure it's because his pubes have grown upwards and attached to his face. I'm not comfortable with it. It was a little disturbing, so it's kind of nice that they fixed that. I'm also going to rage at Sir Loinsteak for pointing that out to me, because I never would have noticed without him.
Isn't it fun when you have friends that can weird you out?
I see what you mean. I just found the picture. Because it's like chest hair, but it's coming from the stomach.
Yep. It's. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what he's eating or drinking to make him that hairy.
God. Still, you know that I can weird you out a lot more than what Loinsteak can.
You are an animator. Animators are cheating. Hawkshot now displays total gold retrieved by the skill in the tooltip.
It does.
I feel like that.
I've seen the same thing with Gangplank. They've done it with all the champions who can get extra gold. I got to admit, it's kind of useful. It shows me that Tiamat Gangplank makes a small fortune in parlay shots. And doesn't need it because it's so cheap. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out on my channel. Yes, I'm shamelessly plugging myself.
Well, at least you can. I've got nothing on my channel yet.
This is true.
I would like to point out this new gold retrieved tooltip thing. If you're not having a good game, it does remind you how crap you're doing. I played a game today as Ash, and I had 45 gold from it at the end of it.
Oh my god.
Oh, poor Danny.
Yep. That's a little sad. However, it could point out, and this is less for Ash, more for Twisted Fate, I've always really felt that his passive at the end doesn't get you much, because I mean, yes, it's 2 gold. Is it 3 gold? It's 2 gold, I think.
Yeah, it's 2 gold.
Per minion kill for everybody on your team, and that can add up to a decent amount, but for the most part, through an entire team, you're getting about 700 minion kills at an average length game. Yeah.
So 1400.
It sounds really nice when it's 1400 gold, but that's 1400 gold split through 5 different people.
Yeah.
In the end, you can buy maybe a longsword with it if you farmed really, really well. It gets things faster, but
it's not the be-all and end-all. But then again, it is passive, so that's the point.
That's true.
Well, what you got to also remember, it's not so much the total you're getting, it's the fact that you now have that little bit of extra cash ahead of the enemy team, which means you can go back and buy that Bloodthirst, the BF sword, a little while earlier. It's not so much the total; it's the fact that you've got that amount of money faster than the enemy team.
Kind of like Zillion, it's not about what you've got, it's about the fact that you are ahead. It naturally gives you an advantage.
Same with
It's
Janna's.
not underpowered, but I feel that it could be better.
In total perspective, that's a hard word to say. Yeah, when you look at it from a bird's eye view, which is even a weirder way, I'm going to be quiet.
Stop getting tongue-tied, maybe?
Maybe, just maybe. The Frost Shot's projectile speed has been increased to match the basic attack projectile speed.
Something I know.
God, I like that.
Because Frost Shot was really, really slow. Projectile speed is like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. No, I'm gonna walk away. But I wanna get you. And you'd hit them eventually, but the big difference is that now you're gonna hit them a lot faster. Then the slow applies sooner. Then you can start shooting and just keep them slow locked for much longer. It's actually gonna make Ash not a lot more powerful, but it will be significant in terms of how many kills Ash can get early game and even late game when she's just slow. You can't run from her.
That's where she plays. That's where she does best, which is interesting. She's one of the only champions that really kind of, that's her thing. You can't really get away. If you want to fight her, you've got to stay and fight, because she just won't let you leave.
And at high level...
Sejuani's another one.
And with high level Ash, yeah, you can't get away, but for the most part you can't get to her either if you're a low health champ. Once she starts shooting at you, unless you've got a really good close ability, you are doomed.
So, I mean, my average for killing most mages is about 3, maybe 4 shots with a finished build on Ash.
Really? That must be late game, because their minions get a lot stronger. Like, I've seen times where you'd easily one-shot a mage minion.
No. Mage enemies, not mage minions.
Oh, right, yeah. Following.
Yep. Enemy mage champs. I can 3 or 4 shot them. So, yeah, as you said, unless I can close the distance, good luck with that.
And a bug where Frost Shot's attack frame was slower than the basic attack, that's going to have exactly the same effect. Except that it's a bug fix, so it's not so much an issue.
That's a similar change to what they did with, I think, was it Victor? They increased the attack animation speed so the attack comes out faster or something.
Sometimes, like, if your attack frame is too slow, if the animation of you attacking is too slow, it can be really, really difficult to last hit minions, because it's, I'm going to attack now! And then the projectile comes out, and you're too late, because the cannon minion or mage minions in the lane have already taken it from you.
I have that main problem with Nautilus. That's where it hits me.
Having a higher attack frame is always useful, and if it's a bug that's caused the slower attack frame, even better. Caitlyn.
Fixed a bug.
Fixed a bug where Caitlyn would appear to attack during Ace-in-the Hole.
I've never seen that.
Nope.
Yeah, I can't say I've had that bug either, so...
But if someone reported it, it's a bug gone. Better game.
Nothing to do here.
Nothing to see here. Move along. To Cho'Gath. They're messing up my Rupture, man. They've added red and green rings to indicate which targets will be affected, so if there's 2 Cho'Gaths, you know who's rumbling the ground with spikes and who's not. But that means that you can easily see where you can get out. Like, some of my favorite Ruptures are when you put it right underneath Sona's dress, because her dress is ridiculous. You put it right underneath Sona's dress, she can't see it. If she stands still, she's taking the damage.
No.
Well, the question is, will the enemy be able to see the ring?
Yeah, they do.
Well, because there's a red and a green.
Good point. Okay, retract that statement. Stupid question.
That said, the AoE was much larger than it appeared, because all you saw was a little bit of sort of mist in the center of the AoE. It was really hard to tell if you were going to be out of it or not.
Also, spikes on the edge are outside the AoE ring as well.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll be
wasn't
wondering...
a very clear ability in terms of...
Yeah, it wasn't.
And it's important to know these things, particularly in high-end play. If you can easily see what's happening, the better. The more feedback you're getting from the game about what's actually going on, the better for you, because you can react better.
Mm.
They've also adjusted the launch delay by
0.05 of a second.
That will throw me off so much.
It doesn't feel like much, but I've been watching a few choreographs, and it's actually feeling like a huge increase in...
This is way back when they took 0.1. It used to be 0.8 seconds on the launch delay.
Wow.
They took 1 second off it. I couldn't hit anyone with it because they're going to be there at this time, so I'm going to put it down. And it spiked too early. Just, no! You're going to die!
Yeah, well, I mean, that, as you said, it will make a difference, but, I mean...
It's just an adjustment in
Fiddlestick's fear, it's like, 3 seconds, but, I mean, whenever that's put on you, it feels like the freaking ever.
Feels like half an hour. I should know, I put it on people. Mundo. They've finally done it. They've nerfed Mundo's ult. Thank you, Riot. Praise be. Sadism now returns 40, 50, 60% of Mundo's health instead of 40, 55, 70.
It was only 10%, but that's still good.
Yeah.
10% that can equate to what?
If you
like
have a Mundo
600 health?
with... the thing that really, really pains me is Mundos who build Guardian Angel. Because you pop Sadism before you die. Even if you die, the healing still occurs. And so you come out of your Guardian Angel with full health again. It's Mundo.
Wow.
How hard was it to bring him down in the first place? You got to bring him down from full health again?
They've got to fix that at some point. They really do.
That would be a very nice bug fix.
Last patch, I think I remember reading something about that. They've fixed regenerating health when you die from Zillion's ult or Guardian Angel. You don't regenerate health after that.
I do not remember reading that. I'll have to check that again, because that was... Oh, I hate when that happens. Fiddlesticks. Dark Wind now deals 50% increased damage to minions and monsters. He finally has a useful farming tool. Now, I ain't gonna lie. When I play Fiddlesticks, I tend to farm champions more than I farm minions.
I was going to say that.
My creep score has on occasion been lower than my champion kills. Well, okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but he's an anti-champion. He's not there to kill minions at all. He's really, really bad at it. But, I don't know, it gives people a reason to get Darkwind earlier, which will personally frustrate me because I hate when people get Darkwind, because the points you're putting into Darkwind are points you could be using to kill people. But if you want to use a useless ability to farm minions and get gold, or if you're doing really, really bad as Fiddlesticks, which would make me rage even more, you've now got ways out of that hole.
You can sit on the summoner platform and still kills.
I'm
Okay,
going to be elitist and say, all you
Yeah.
little Fiddlesticks out there, it's easier to be a bad Fiddlesticks.
I'm just gonna say, alright, we need a great big neon sign over your head. Fiddle's elitist here.
Yep. Right here. This guy. Fiddle's elitist. I almost never see a Fiddlesticks that's playing to my standards. And yes, sometimes I have bad games. I'm not the best Fiddlesticks in the world, and particularly in ranked games I tend to get beat up because, well, I suck at ranked for some reason.
They also will focus the crap out of you because they know what will happen if they don't.
This is true. But in normal games, Fiddlesticks is a total boss, and I never see him achieving anything near his potential except in hands like mine. That said, it's not his old potential. Again, we're going to do the reminisce thing, the flashback to the days when Fiddlesticks' Drain would at level 1 heal for 100% of the damage it dealt as opposed to 60, and there was no ramping up on the healing. It also did more damage. Yeah, I'm going to take Ignite. Yeah, I'm going to get blue buff right at the start of the game. Yeah, I'm going to get to level 2, and I'm going to double kill top lane. It's like, oh, we're both level 1. We're fighting this guy. We may have taken a little bit of damage. There's been a bit of poking. Okay, we're going to push him back to his tower because we're fighting 2-on-1. Suddenly, Fiddlesticks, let's get him! Suddenly, double kill. And then I go home and buy my Medjay Soul Stealer, and the game ends in about 15 minutes.
I I've said this before to you guys, but I honestly cannot agree with Magi Soul Stealers in regular games. I
Yeah.
can't.
Like,
I mean, I know the point of them, but
it's such a gamble. Snowball items are really, really dangerous to get.
Mm.
But we're a little off topic. We should right now be talking about Fizz. They
Yep, good point. Back on topic.
fixed a bug where Playful Trickster would prevent Fizz from casting spells for longer than intended.
Yeah, so they haven't fixed a launching one.
I've heard, this is from these guys, so they can probably tell the story better, that...
Yeah,
Go
seen a
ahead.
video. He flipped up onto his pole, and then he went to flip off it to keep chasing the guy. He didn't keep chasing the guy. He went up into space. He came down about 4 or 5 seconds later.
So, you all know about the super bounce when knock-up abilities will bug out and send them into the sky, and they'll be like, what? Okay, here I am. It's basically the same thing, but with Fizz's Playful Trickster. I haven't seen it happen, and I've played Fizz a little bit. I love to see it happen, but it's... it's a shit moment, because you don't know what's going on.
I got a feeling I know what it is. This happens to me as Tristana when I try to jump over a wall, but I don't quite get the ring of effect where I'm going to land over the wall. It's kind of just on the wall of it.
Yep.
I get the feeling that it's kind of like I jump and then Tristana goes, crap, I can't land there. I'll go to another planet where it's about the same area and I'll land there instead. and then you come back down. You can't go that high. But that's kind of, maybe that's what it is. You just go straight up when the game realizes it can't actually land where you're telling it to.
Yeah. Onwards.
Maybe.
Gangplank's Parlay now displays total gold earned by the skill in the tooltip. We've already
discussed that.
Yep.
Might as well move on to Hecarim.
Yay.
Rampage damage to minions and monsters increased to 66% from 50%.
That's good.
Which
What
one's
was,
Rampage again?
Yeah.
Rampage was his spammable one.
He's speeding
That's... Yeah.
Yeah. It was a bit mean that they didn't hurt minions. I will admit that.
Isn't that his main jungling tool? Because you watch the video from Freak and he's all about how you need to spin that around to get the final kill, so
Yeah,
you can
so that
keep
you
the
can-
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because every time you hit someone, it reduces the cooldown.
Well, 4-second cooldown. It can stack twice. Each stack takes off 1 second, so it brings it down to a 2-second 2-second cooldown time.
Yeah,
Right.
I can imagine why it's going to be spammable, but yeah, if it's his main jungling tool and it's not actually good against minions, that's a serious issue. And yeah, it's still not going to be amazing against them, but it's going to be less bad. Which is good. Less bad is good. Devastating Charge now requires less distance travel to get the full effect. That's good.
Yeah, that would be useful.
Playing
I
Hecarim,
wanna
I
know
actually
what the-
forgot that it did that.
I want to know if there's anywhere that tells you distances, because you know how Ash's arrow, the longer it travels, the longer the stun. I want to know, because sometimes I feel like it's not that much of a distance there. It needs to travel. Maybe the
Well-
length of base to mid is about full length it needs to travel. Or?
It's less than that to get the full stun, I know that much.
Okay.
It is hard with distances because it's completely arbitrary. Like, the distance you travel, I believe this is how it works, and I've seen nothing that actually explains distances and things, but your character's speed is
The
basically
distance
the
you cover
number,
in
the
1
distance they
second.
travel in a second. But it doesn't, like, most champions will have maybe 400 with level 2 or level 3 boots. Tristana's ultimate knocks back everyone 1,000 units. It doesn't feel like it's going to take them 2.5 seconds to get that distance back. It's a weird issue with a combination of the distance not being totally clear and the fact that time dilates in really weird ways when you're playing League of Legends, because adrenaline and things like that, really, really short periods of time seem really, really long. And and long periods of time, like the length of the game, it's a full half hour most of the time, can feel really, really short. It's... I'd like a cleaner way to know how far things are, but yeah. It would be hard to do without putting a grid on the map, and no one wants that because they're ugly, and if you have 300 squares in the distance Tristana go, wow, that would be complicated. It'd be lines! The whole world would be lines! This is not Tron!
Well, technically it is, but we'll just move on.
Hey. You're an animator. You understand that the world is lines. I'm a normal person.
I look at polygons most of the day, so...
Polygons.
Well,
Lulu.
whenever I'm doing 3D anyway. At the moment I'm in 2D, god damn it.
This is another praise the riot gods for me. Lulu's glitter lance has been nerfed.
Yeah.
You can stop the rage so hard.
Damage adjusted to 80, 125, 170, 215, and 260. From 80,
Down 28 points
130,
overall.
180, 230, and 280. So yeah, it loses 20 points of damage at the end, but the important bit is the ability power ratio has been reduced to a half from 0.6. My issues with Lulu, and I've made them clear to basically everyone I've spoken to about Lulu, isn't so much that anything to do with her abilities. I love how all of her abilities work. My problem is that it's too easy to make her into a very, very powerful nuker. I played Lulu... The very first time I played Lulu, I fully stacked a Magi Soul Stealer with ease. Yeah, the enemy team were kind of scrubs, but the amount of damage she pulled from that Magi Soul Stealer and from the Rabadon's Death Cat was just phenomenal. My problem's not so much her damage output, it's her ability power ratios. I want her to be a support. It's been a long time since we've had a really, really cool support, and I think Lulu can fit that role. She's just been that little bit too powerful in the damage, and so it's difficult to justify building supporty items.
I'd like to point something out here. There's, I think Craig, you told... Sorry, Real Impact. God, I'm bad at this.
You'll get used to it.
You told me something about how there's this guy who said that the best mid are people who have the best escape, so therefore Cassiopeia is one of the best because of her ultimate. I kind of feel that with all of Lulu's abilities, she becomes possibly the best mid because she has the picks which she can put on the enemy and hit them with her glitter lance from pretty much any distance. Because as long as it's on them, you get the hit.
And that's a bloody nasty slow.
Yeah, and she also has the
You can
the
keep
ability
the
to
distance, yeah.
Yeah, and her escape is if anyone tries to gank her from the side. Just, you're a squirrel now. I'm gonna go.
You're a squirrel.
Well,
bye.
That's the thing. You can either turn them into, you can either use Whimsy on them to turn them into a critter. If you use Whimsy on yourself, you're suddenly getting dragged around by your staff.
Exactly. It's best escape, best long range attack. It's
then her ultimate, it's like, yep, bang! Okay, I've got an extra chunk of health sitting on top, and if you come near me, you're slowed. If you were near me, you're in the air.
Oh, and don't forget the shield.
Yep, the shield on help picks as well.
Yeah, so
She's got a lot going for her in terms of staying alive, which is really, really good. But the thing is, she doesn't necessarily have to do that for herself, which is why she's such a good support in my mind. She can keep everyone else alive as well. That's what you want from a support. What you don't want is the ability for the support to go, bang, the entire enemy team's dead.
Yeah, exactly. She's too good
damaging.
as a non-support to be. I kind of feel as I don't know how you would fix that. Unless you did a complete rechange of all of the abilities, and I don't really want that because those are quite cool.
How you do it is you adjust ability power ratios so that it's less viable to deal massive amounts of damage and more viable to get supporting aura items or items that help you protect your teammates better.
Or even for getting the aura items, even just reducing the ratios would mean that you would focus more on using the buff abilities on her allies rather than the debuff or attacks on the enemies.
Because you debuff the enemy, yeah, that's good. You've dealt with one problem, but if all your mates die, there's no point having a debuffed enemy. If you're a support-based champion, if your teammates are dead, you can't do anything on your own. And that's kind of how it should be. Anyway, enough of Lulu and my personal opinions.
Malphite,
yes. He's getting a health per level increase. And
I did the math.
Yep.
It was out at 144 health at max level extra.
Not a huge amount when you really think about it, but it'll keep you alive.
Mm-hmm.
keep you alive, adds a little bit more onto his granite shield.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
And
Increased
travel speed
Malphite's
during unstoppable force.
Untouchable.
You cannot topple this force. No. I've been on the receiving end of that just today. I'm like, I'm going to be sitting down the bottom lane. I'm playing my AP Tristana. What's up? Hey. You're a Jax. You're slowly dying as I harass you down. I'm going to sit next to my tower just in case you try and dive, and then I can kill you. Suddenly Malphite, suddenly Scion. Malphite, I couldn't see him. Yes, he was on the other side of a bush, but suddenly he's next to me and I'm in the sky. And then Scion runs in and stuns me, and then Jax runs in and leap attack. Oh my god! There was little bits of Yordle all over the walls. It was horrifying.
That would be hilarious if there was a version of LoL where you could actually get Gibbs.
Full on gore. Oh, we do not. Do we want that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would advocate that. Depends to what extent they go. Because if it's like
I want it
2, it would be like, oh my god!
I want it with a Euphoria physics engine, and if anyone knows what that means, then good on you. And being singed and fleeing someone behind you, and they just do a barrel roll and then flip across the ground and
just roll everywhere. Rebuild League of Legends in a completely different engine. That would be interesting. Make it third person just for shites and giggles. But yeah, that travel speed increase is really, really neat. It's going to make his ult easier to use, which isn't a problem. It's going to have adjustment issues like the Cho'Gath change, but it's not a bad thing. And it's actually going to make everything for him better. It's going to make his job easier.
That's just an adjustment period for the people who've been using them a fair bit already.
Yeah. I am going to say, though, despite the fact that it was horrifying that I was gibbed, it was amazing how quickly I went from borderline full health and in control of my lane to dead. And, yeah, that happens a lot with Scion, but for most of that game, I was actually on top of Scion, and then suddenly I was being killed by a Malphite who I wasn't scared of for most of the game.
Proved otherwise.
I don't know. It was quite entertaining, like LOL is supposed to be, and just my little anecdote for this eve.
Next, we've got Morgana. Soul Siphon Spell Vamp reduced to 10, 15, 20 from 10, 20, 30. Slightly annoying for Morgana players, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I'll point out, though, in some games, I've generally noticed that the mid-game team roaming period seems to happen after 1 or 2 towers go down. But there's always those games you play every now and then where you'll be 30 minutes into it and not a single tower will be down. That's where Morgana's passive really becomes annoying. Because she'll use the thing on minions and she'll just suddenly get all her health back. So that's kind of helping for people who are versing here anyway. They're late game where it's still early game tactics.
Laning,
It's going to be a little easier to take Morgana down because she won't heal as much. Unless she's got a Will of the Ancients, in which case...
I've been in that situation as well. The main reason why I managed to beat her in the end was I was Katarina at the time. So, Grievous Wounds.
Yep. I love Grievous Wounds.
It's going to be a bit annoying. I can't remember. I'm going to look it up, so you guys keep talking for a bit. But I'd like to know how it compares to the lifesteal of...
Nasus.
Yeah, you guys talk amongst yourself while I search Nasus.
Should I carry on Morgana, I don't have anything to say about Morgana. I played her once, and
Let's see, what have we got on Nautilus here? Fix a bug where Riptide will continue to deal full damage on subsequent hits to slow immune targets.
yes, me and Will talk to. God damn it!
You know, this is really frustrating. League of Legends website. Okay, abilities for Nasus. You've got Siphoning Strike, Wither, Spirit Fire, Fury of the Sands. They've put in all the information there, like including range and cost and exactly what it does, complete with all the ratios. Soul Eater. Nasus drains his foe's spiritual energy, giving him bonus lifesteal. Full stop.
Yeah, this is why you make use of the LoL wiki for stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would
Soul
go into it
Eater
further,
is
but I'd like to press on. But
14, 17, 20.
14, 17, 20.
Okay.
See,
So it ends up at the same percentage.
It ends up at the same percentage, and yet, I don't know, with an attack damage Nasus, which I don't build, you may have seen my videos on this, I don't do an attack damage Nasus, I do things that I find personally more fun and entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
Don't stand in the fire, don't stand in the fire, don't stand in the fire. Anyway.
You're standing in the fire!
Anyway, you can attack more often than you can cast spells, even with Morgana. But spells do more damage, so I feel that it right now is about equal. 30% was probably a little bit too much, which is what they fixed.
But, other than that, with him starting with 14 as opposed to 10, one other thing you got to remember is that he can only hit one target at a time to get that.
Morgan used a puddle and mess shit up for everybody.
Mm.
Did we discuss Nautilus? Because I'm not sure how far you pressed on while I was on the whole page.
We got onto Nautilus and it was just a bug fix.
No, bug fixes are, squashed bugs. There's going to be so many bug corpses at Riot HQ. Like, I reckon they've got, like, a most wanted wall, like, say, in NCIS or something. Like a crime. They're just a most wanted wall of bugs, and whenever someone beats a bug, they get up and like put a great big red cross on the bug, like I defeated this bug. It's no longer a problem.
I can imagine as soon as the champion starts getting really heavily played in ranked games, a lot of people probably think that a lot of Riot people, they just move their champion to the top of the list of nerf. Because that's how everyone seems to feel about ranked champs getting nerfed.
Ranked is where nerfing is important. Like, in normal games, the balance isn't as important as it is in high-end ranked games, because high-end ranked games is where, A, the money's being made, and B, people care. So, if someone's being played in every single... Yeah, should care. If someone's being played in every single ranked game, and they're the first person to get picked will always go him, even if they don't want to play that champion, just so that they can slot it down into one of their teammates. And they know that if they don't take it, the enemy team will. If someone's that popular, it's usually because they are really, really good. And if someone's really, really powerful like that, there's a real danger that they are actually legitimately overpowered.
Yeah.
Next up, Renekton, Kalamik's Fury Enhanced Swipe Trail is now properly red.
I didn't realize there was issues with the color palette. Seeing as we've been reading all about all of these, how about we let Danny run the show for a little bit? Reverse, or Danny, seeing as I've just ruined your name.
I'm fine.
It's reverse.
With Danny.
It's reverse spelled backwards, Craig. Come on. Read Twist of Fate. Do it. Read it.
Just wait. Oh, okay. Loaded dice will now show total gold earned. Oh, why did I get this one? We've already done 3 of them.
You got the next one as well.
Okay, well, we know Twisted Fate. Yeah, we've already discussed that.
We've already
discussed that. Or however you say that. Fixed a bug where Free Talon Strike did not take critical damage modifiers into account. That would be annoying.
God.
I would not use Free Talon Strike if it didn't bring critical damage modifiers into it, because that would piss me off a lot. That's why
hurts a lot. I didn't realize that, say, if he had an Infinity's Edge, his 3 Talon Strike wasn't getting the extra 50% damage. He's going to hurt more. Ow.
Well, you got to remember, that is a bug.
Yeah, I know it's a bug.
So it wouldn't have happened all the time.
Yep.
Why don't I think of that?
Yeah.
They didn't say
Bugs
sometimes though,
occur.
so it may have actually been happening the whole time and it just wasn't intended.
I imagine, well, for me anyway, bugs are always just things that happen from time to time.
Yep.
Regardless, it means he's going to be doing more damage than he used to. Which means, ow! Take
Kinda
your
like the
spear
Olympics,
and
you know.
stick it somewhere safe.
New item. A Fiend's Unholy Grail.
Holy Grail! I love this item. I really, really do. I've played it. I bought it like twice now, and it's so good. It is amazing. Like, hey, I don't need mana anymore, ever. Like ever. From now until forever, I will. I have to get this item on AP Tristana. I just realized. Oh my god, mind has been blown. Like for the last 2 games as AP Tristana, I haven't got it because I was like, you get a Mechie Pendant at the start with her, you will never run out of mana. With the AP, because you're not jumping around a lot. Yes, it's a primary form of damage, but you don't want to jump onto the enemy unless you're going to kill them. And so you explosive shot, and by the time half the cooldown of explosive shot is gone, you've got all your mana back. Like, I was like, why do I have full mana? I just used an ability.
Here's a better question. What your ultimate was doing? What 1.5 AP ratio,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It had a 29-second cooldown. Is that right?
36 seconds.
36. Okay. Yeah. Because holy crap,
Basically-
that's not cool.
In a team fight with Tristana, though, yes, you use your ultimate, you use your explosive shot, and they've got reasonably long cooldowns, but the thing is, you use your rocket jump and hopefully get a kill or an assist. The moment you get a kill or
Instant
assist...
refresh.
Instant refresh. If you're getting mana with your instant refresh, you can be all like, hoppity, 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 and never run out of mana.
Oh,
Not to
God.
mention that you're regenerating mana as well. Like, even if you're super, super low, if you get a assist, that 12% mana will give you enough for another rocket jump.
That is awesome.
That's why my mind was blown. I realized suddenly I can bounce everywhere.
Oh, God.
Ability power, it's got magic resist, it's got mana regeneration. That's actually not that much mana regeneration when you really think about it. That's 2 Mechie Pendants. But
Mana regen per 5, cooldown reduction,
2
and...
unique effects, which are really, really awesome.
Yep. The standard Chalice of Harmony, and then restore 12% of your max mana on any kill and assist. Which is freaking awesome.
They've nerfed the Phantom Dancer and the Zeal.
Yep. By movement speed reduced by 3% and 2% respectively.
As you pointed out, that building all Zeals would get you more movement speed than building up to a Phantom Dancer just instantly.
What
To
used
fix
to
that now,
happen is that a lot of champions who were going to stack up the Phantom Dancers and just be, I'm going to get maximum attack speed and run really, 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 really fast and everyone will die. They would get, instead of going, okay, I'm going to get a Phantom Dancer, now I'm going to get another Phantom Dancer, they'd get, I'm going to get 4 Zeals, and then one by one build them to Phantom Dancers. Because it was more efficient in terms of movement speed to get the Zeal, because it's 8%, instead of getting an additional 7% by getting it up to Phantom Dancer, you're getting an additional 8% by getting another Zeal. While still getting really, really good critical chance and attack speed, it was more viable if you were all about the movement speed to just get the Zeals and then get the Phantom Dancers.
Well, that might still do it because of costs now.
Yeah, you might still, like, it's still going to be more cost efficient in terms of movement speed, but it's not going to be as cost efficient. And
Well,
the critical rate and attack speed of Phantom Dancer is, I'm pretty sure, significantly better than the Zeal, so we're less likely to see that happening.
Yeah, well, I mean, going from a Zeal to a Phantom Dancer is another 1,650 gold, whereas buying a second Zeal is 1,195.
okay.
So cost-wise, you'll probably still find a lot of them.
Wait, is it cheaper to get a Phantom Dancer than a Zeal? Like, if you've already got a Zeal, did you say?
No. A Zeal is 1,195 to buy.
Yep.
To go from a Zeal up to a Phantom Dancer
Yep.
is an additional 1,650.
600. I thought you said 190. I don't even know. Yeah. So Zeal's better in that regard. It's like 500 cheaper about.
Yeah, cost-wise, you're better off doing that, but you'll see more of them going straight up to Phantom Dancers now, since, as you said, they don't have that extra 1% of movement speed over it.
Yeah. Some of the script, graphics updated. This is, of course, a personal opinion thing. Real impact. What do you think?
I like it. I like the fact that the golems can kick me now. As trim as that sounds, I do like the fact that they will actually take their feet off the ground.
I love
like
their neck head thing that they've got going on. I reckon that's really awesome.
I like how the wraiths when you kill the big one, he pops like a balloon. He goes.
Really? I haven't looked at it that much.
It's so funny.
Okay, how have I not noticed that with how many of them I've killed?
The next time you see it, don't say he goes up, it does a spin, and it falls.
Nice.
Oh, God.
The thing that someone mentioned to me that I would really like to see, we all loved the old shopkeeper. Like the big pig in a
Actually,
robe.
there have been people complaining about him.
Why would you complain? He's adorable. He's big and fat and cuddly, and gives
And he
you,
has a sword.
and it gives you magic items. What more do you want from man? I was thinking. Well, I wasn't thinking. Someone else was thinking, and I agree with them. Can't even remember who it was.
You just stole their thought.
Yeah, I ripped the thought out of their brain. I actually took the brain cells and put them in my head. So they are now, like, brain
They are you.
damaged, and I'm smarter. Or have their idea.
Joke, not too long. let's carry on.
Yeah, let's carry on before I ramble and get arrested. The idea was to have one team, probably the blue team, have the new guy, and then the purple team have the old guy, like differentiate the shopkeeper. So that it's not the same guy on two different sides of the map, because how does he move that fast?
Well, it's like killing. How does that woman manage to get it?
Cloning facility?
Cloning facility. Yeah, because the League of Legends... Like, because he's clearly not a minion. He's a bit more animated than that. So... Are they twins?
Maybe. Either that, or maybe his whole family just looks identical.
Could be. HUD now displays number of creeps you killed up where it shows your scores, your KDAR, kill death assist ratio. It will also show your creep score. Kind of useful for people who want to keep track of that sort of thing, and certainly
Such as
useful
you.
for... Well, yeah. Shut up. Just because I had this period in basically from level 1 to 30, where if I didn't have the highest creep score on the map, I was not impressed.
The thing I find funny is that nowadays I'm regularly outdoing you on it.
I play Fiddlesticks, like, all the time. Well, not all the time, but regularly, and so it's kind of hard to keep up, man. And you play
Yeah, but
Annie, so
even-
it's like, I'm gonna get these minion kills, and you're like, I'm gonna burn them all at once.
Annie, how I love to use you in League of Legends.
I'm glad that you were very careful with how you worded that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get pulled in for
Yeah,
speaking like
I'm
a
the one
pedophile.
getting arrested here for wrecking someone's brain. Let's not get anyone else arrested.
Oh,
The
God.
minimap has been improved so map icons and player icons display more clearly. I honestly hadn't noticed until I read this right now. Significantly improved game performance on low-end machines at lower quality settings. Sorry, that's cool.
Yeah, I used to have to run at about medium for most of my settings, thinking because that was about where my graph where it'd stay around 60 frames a second. Now everything but shadows I have up at highest quality, and it runs the same. So they did an excellent job at optimizing coding there.
Mm-hmm.
And they improved the visual quality of the in-game HUD.
I'd like to point out
Yep.
that a lot of high-end players would disagree with that. I watched like a They're like a live stream, but it wasn't live stream. It was just recording of it after it was
video?
live. Yeah, it was a video. A video of a live stream
Or
where a
VOD,
guy,
if you prefer.
yeah, he was a bit disappointed in the new, especially the words, because they're very foggy almost. They're blurry, not foggy. Foggy. They've gone a bit blurry, and I've noticed that as well. All the words seem kind of blurred slightly. Just
So
Really?
I think I had noticed it a little bit. It kind of feels like then that that last patch a while back where they updated all the fonts so everything is clear, and then they changed all the HUD and everything is blurry. So now they need to change the fonts again
do you, real
to
impact.
match the new HUD. Like they really should have done it all in one go.
Excuse me, real impact. Do you have it so that the HUD is of a smaller size, or do you have it at 100% size?
Well, it's certainly smaller than what it was. I know that for a fact.
I don't
Okay.
even know what my settings are for HUD size.
Yeah,
it
I
used
haven't
to be
put
about
settings for a
60%,
while.
Yeah, I've got mine around 60 as well.
but
It's I've had a few moments where I've gone, I've gone level 6. You go to click on the button to level up level 6. You go and dive, and then you press the button. And it's like, you have not learned the spell yet. What? Because I missed it because the button.
there is
Yes.
one thing I'd like
You
to
mentioned
point out,
that.
which is a problem. I've noticed that sometimes you can't see the numbers on your buff/debuff icons.
Mm.
So I was building a Magi Soul Stealer in a custom game, like co-op VAI, and I was playing, I'm going to get as much AP on Vega as I possibly can, and then these guys ruined it for me by winning the game.
Sorry.
But I had 12 stacks, and after that, in fact, I think it happened before as well, but the last I saw was 12 stacks. I got it up to about 16, but I couldn't see the numbers on it. I didn't know at a glance how many stacks I had. I had to mouse over to see that. That's an issue that I'd like them to fix. It might be because my HUD's a little too small,
Nah, I got the same problem.
but yeah, they should probably fix that so that the numbers are
Yeah.
always there. That's a bug
That's
fix
a-
I'd like to see.
There's another bug as well where, especially with Ash's passive, where it tells you the money that you're getting. Sometimes it actually puts the cooldown bar on it for no reason.
Yeah,
the
I
bar
saw
isn't
that
moving.
on-
It's not moving, but it's there. There's this bar, and it goes away when you respawn. It's
What ability did I see that on? Explosive Shot, the passive of Explosive Shot where you cause minions to explode, had like a quarter of its cooldown done, and I'm like, why is that there?
there's no cooldown.
There's no cooldown on the passive effect. This is lies! Lies and deceit.
Lies, I tell you!
And no, it wasn't because I'd used the ability and it doesn't work when it's off, because I'm pretty sure it still does, and even if it doesn't, I hadn't used the ability in a while, and the cooldown thing wasn't moving.
So this is where I wonder, how do they test for these kind of bugs and things? Because me and you both saw the same thing. You think they would have noticed that at some point during the creation of it?
It's probably just exclusive to our region. Let's use that.
Well, other than that, like, sometimes bugs only start cropping up later on down the line as other sections of coding get changed.
True.
Now,
And it
that's the
is
thing.
hard to quality assure every single thing when you're releasing patches, like, every 2 weeks. And there's patches more often than that. And after a major patch, there's usually, every time you log in, after that, there'll be another patch for about a day. Because they've gone, oh, we missed this, we'll fix this while we got the opportunity.
Get some hot fixes put in.
Like, if they added something last minute, yeah, they might know that it doesn't break the game, because if it breaks the game, they don't bring out the patch for another day or so. But there might be tiny little things that they haven't noticed in that last minute. I imagine the day before patch day at Riot is very, very stressful.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd probably be like the day before we have to hand in an animation here at uni. It's like
It's just-
every single time, almost every single student in the degree will be up all night working on it.
Yeah. Now that goes our 10-minute tangent. Co-op VAI, there's some bugs. Bots will no longer kill themselves by chasing enemies onto the summoner platform. Riot, why do you ruin things for me?
Disappointed.
I loved the really, really old dumb bot. I want to be able to get the old bots from before Co-op VAI back into like, custom games. Like, just have a special bot category for ultra stupid. where you could lure two of them and get a double kill right at the start of the game if you knew what you were doing. You could just stand next to the tower and they'll tower dive and then stop attacking you and stand there as the tower shot them. Suddenly, Alistair's attacking your base when none of the towers have been destroyed. Like he walks up to your inhibitor and looks at it like, oh, I'm gonna get you. As soon as that tower dies, I'm gonna punch you up. or going, I'm taking on 5 bots alone. Like, I'm in a 1v5 here, which used to be my favorite training exercise.
I remember that.
I'm starting to lose, because it's really hard to win when there's all lanes are being pushed and you're a single guy. So you lead the entire bot force onto the summoner platform. Pentakill. Okay, I'm now going to clean up the minions and charge mid.
Our old training methods. 1v5s or 1v1s with each other.
Oh, yes.
I would like to point something out here.
Yeah.
In the last patch that I saw where they fixed the bots, they made it so that they wouldn't tower dive so much.
They still do it.
They still do.
Not as often, but they still do it. So it's gonna be...
Oh, no. No, it wasn't the tower diving. It was the fact that you'd be attacking someone, no towers have been lost, and suddenly Misfortune will be running from your base past middle inner tower, middle outer tower.
What the hell ever caused that?
And they said they fixed it, and they haven't fixed it, so it still happens.
It just doesn't happen as often. So it's basically just gonna be harder to lure them onto the summoner platform. You're going to need larger bags of candy.
Like a blitzcrank or something.
Yeah. Fixed a bug where Shenbot did not learn all of his abilities.
Oh, you remember that game we played?
What I said
think
about
the
ultra
first.
stupid bots?
Well, you guys remember the first rank we played? I played as Singed. I get no kills during the game, then right at the end I get a triple kill by throwing them onto the summoner platform.
Yes.
I think Craig's with all the last one, so it wasn't a triple kill, but it was.
It's pretty darn close.
It's so hard. They were such a good rank team we're up against there.
Fixed a bug where Ashbot would occasionally get stuck toggling Frost Shot repeatedly. I'm pretty sure she couldn't do anything else when she was in that. Like, you'd just see Ash standing there like... And you'd just be, what are you doing? Ash, hello. That could possibly have been a problem, and it just kind of makes it easier to kill her when you're just standing there like shooting.
Ash, are you still alive?
Well, not anymore.
I pushed the button, but it won't stay on.
The bots would use cleanse on knock-up and knock-back abilities. That was just dumb.
Cogmore does that all the time.
Really?
Every time I'd play Javelin and spot Cogmore, I would knock him up and then cleanse.
They are really, really fast on the cleanse. So that was a good way to get rid of it, but the bots for Co-op AI are there for training purposes. They're there to learn how to play and learn what players are going to be like. So the closer you can get the bots to the players, like in terms of how they act, the better. And so if they use cleanse on knock-up, it was a good way to get rid of the cleanse because it's a really annoying ability. But it's not what a player would do because a player's not retarded.
Yeah. Also, people in the bot games are, on average, nicer. And it's a nice place to try out a new champion, so you don't feel like if you do badly,
nobody cares.
Yeah, I like it to stay like that, where it's not so much of a big thing. It's kind of like if you have a few bad people in the team, you're still likely to win, unless they make an even harder version, in which case don't like that. But I just wanted it's a place to test things where the people are nicer. I play normal and there's some pretty horrible people on there, and I don't really mind because I know I just got to accept it.
Yeah. Spectator mode. Spectators can now view the spectator UI and use time shift controls after the game has ended. Spectators will now run at full speed when alt-tabbed in windowed or borderless mode. That's going to be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The first one that you read out there is best for when you want to watch the new exploding Nexus in slow motion.
Yes.
or the very rare double Nexus explosion when there's been a surrender and a kill at the same time.
And an extra skill, yeah. I still need to take a really close look at the new Nexus explosion. I've seen it a few times because I haven't played many games lately. It looks amazing, and as you've suggested, I do need to look at it in slow motion because it's just like, wow! The only thing I have is that the outline around your character stays where it is. So, like, I was Vega, and I'm standing next to the thing, and there's this huge warping, and like Vega gets pulled in the next, everything gets pulled in the next, and this outline of Vega is just standing perfectly still, like, so.
Kind of reminds me of just a massive version of Lux's slow thing.
Yeah,
that's what it kind of looks
that's
like.
probably what they've done.
Yeah, they might have based it off of Lucent Singularity.
Spectator mode will now run at full speed when alt tab. See, that's because that means you can put it in a window and be doing work on something and still have a game playing. That's kind of cool. My screen isn't big enough to do it because I've got a little pissy laptop. So if I had a window of LOL, even if it was really, really small, I wouldn't be able to do jack all because it'd use a quarter of my screen minimum. But useful to have.
Screen real estate on laptops is a very precious commodity.
Yes, it is. The mouse cursor will now hide in spectator mode after a period of inactivity. There was a game, and I wanted it to just follow one person, because that's, well, it was reverse here. I wanted to see him play Singed, because I hadn't done it in a while. And I had to find a place to put the mouse where it was out of the way, and I could, because I just wanted to sit and watch it while I was working on some paperwork, I think. I don't even know. But where's the sweet spot where you can put it without shifting the screen and then having it start its normal, I'm gonna look at everything all the time kind of mode?
See, this is great for me because I'm one of those people, and I'm sure there are many out there, that if there was one dead pixel on the screen, it'll piss the crap out of me. So this is perfect. You leave the mouse, it disappears. I'm okay. I don't care anymore. I used to have to like put it somewhere on the screen that would be the similar color, so I wouldn't look at it because if I know it's there, I'm gonna get pissed off.
Spectator HUD will now remember chat visibility settings between games, significantly reduce CPU usage of the featured games module, improved algorithm for selecting featured games to include more normal and ranked team games with extremely skilled players. That's probably the most interesting out of what I've just read, in my opinion.
The significantly reduced CPU usage thing. I read the thread that started that, and it's that's good because Steam had the same thing when you had their main page open, the library thing for your games. It was using 40% of the CPU.
Oh, for the Dota.
It was really bad.
Wow.
Not for Dota 2, Steam.
Steam in general.
Yeah, this when you had the Steam page open, 40%. They fixed it though. It's just a bad thing. A lot of programs have it when they first start up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they fixed it now, which is
good. Fixing it is
it
good.
mustn't be hard to fix because everyone seems to be able to fix it, but it's very
probably just a wiki thread on how to fix it.
The bug that caused featured games to occasionally show completed games.
I'm gonna watch this game. Aww.
Fix a bug where fast forwarding up to live could break spectator mode.
Yeah, I had that problem once.
And fix a bug that could cause direct the camera to miss kills in some situations.
Yeah, that would be annoying. Because there's a thing where the camera will actually go to people when there's nothing happening if they're doing a emote, whatever it's called, one of those things. Because I remember Will was Ahrtimmer was constantly doing the "you can't milk those" thing when he was Alistair one time, and every time you would say that, the camera would go to you and then go back to the fight, and it would go to you, can't milk those, back to the fight. I was like, I want to watch the fight, stop doing it.
You make me.
God.
Because you can't milk those.
Yeah, I was missing fights, so then I could watch Alistair be a cow, pretty much.
Mo. Hey.
Mo.
Hey, reverse.
Mo.
Hey, reverse. Hey. I'm going to torture you. You have to read out the general section. Biatch.
Alright, we finished that. Tells when I alert you of a tone and a particle when you are being targeted.
That's
Oh,
really
good.
cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm noticing it in fights now. Whenever I get targeted,
If you're being
It's-
targeted, you know about it.
I
yeah,
mean, it wasn't often that I missed the laser pointer, but still, it helped.
yeah, because sometimes like I don't even notice the particle. I don't notice the laser anymore. But when I hear that sound, it's a really good sound.
Yeah.
Because it's nowhere else.
It will always stand out.
No, I mean, no champion has anything that sounds like a bell yet.
Yeah, and it's not going to be overridden by Cho'Gath running up to your next door neighbor and going, nom 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 nom.
Unless they
It's
add
very distinct.
Hunchback of Notre Dame to the game.
They've already got a
Ring the
hunchback.
bell.
They've already got one hunchback.
Dork.
Yes, and he's not very good at bells, mostly shovels.
Alright, I'm still reading these.
Yeah.
I think I added a confirmation dialogue for the quit button in Champions League for custom games. For only custom games. I thought it was for all. Oh, never mind.
I think there was already a confirmation box, and now
Okay.
they've added it for custom games. I'm not entirely sure, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. By the way,
It's one
it's
of
in
those
there.
things that's not exactly iconic and memorable.
What does this mean? I'm reading it, I can't figure out what they mean. Improved responsiveness of input when hard crowd control effects such as stun, fear, etc. end. What does that mean?
Like,
You'll probably find there was a period of time directly after one of those hard CCs where you couldn't do anything.
like if you're spamming click to move away, and the CC ends, it might delay a little bit before you start moving. If they've improved
the
the
response,
responsiveness, you're more likely to start moving the moment it ends.
Because the input there's generally the game will, well, the engine will check every so often when you've done an input, and if it does it. So they've probably increased the amount of checks per second. All right,
However
Possibly.
they've done it, it's good news.
just for a short amount of time after a crowd control, yeah.
Yeah.
Improved particle scaling, characters like Dragon and Baron Nashor. I remember them actually saying that same thing in a patch a little while ago. It's very funny when Akali does her flourish of the karmas next to the dragon.
That, or it's always impressive when
Hail Flaming Sword of Doom.
KO Flaming Sword, or particularly against the Nexus.
Nothing competes with the Flaming Sword of Doom against the Nexus, because the whole world lights on fire.
No, I was thinking more Janna's attack.
Yep.
Tornado!
Well, one of the best ones is a Morgana snared fully stacked Cho'Gath. I remember one of the best Cho'Gaths I saw is he fully stacked every single time Morgana would snare him, he would laugh, and it was so funny. You just stared and you hear this, like, and then you'd run around and you see it again, you'd laugh. It's so cool.
Oh, God.
Hey, next one, fixed the bug where players could not spam emotes. Yes, they didn't spam it to the
So you
RT10.
can't look like you're having a seizure.
Exactly.
This will make Maelstrom quite sad.
I wonder if they're still listening to this, but Andrew and... Damn it, I'm never going to learn. Someone else were Kinid and Bunny, Timo, and they're in the jungle. You know how when Kinid laughs, he falls on his
Rolls around
back?
on the ground.
Yeah? Well, if you spam it, he goes back and forward really fast. And then Timo was laughing, and it was in such a position, it looked like something very suspicious. And if you want to ask someone else, yeah, you know who plays Bunny Timo.
Yeah. Let's not have hamster on Bunny. Yeah, no.
Let's move along.
Fix the bug.
Okay, so
keep going.
Units would remain highlighted after death. That's true, because every time it generally happened with Cogmor's dead body, you could say, why can't I attack the exploded Cogmor?
Yeah. It was a thing, it's a little annoying.
Yeah.
Now it's not a thing, so no longer annoying.
Sometimes it would actually prevent you from getting last hits as well, because you would go to click the minion, but you'd click the dead cassette. What?
Yeah.
What to kill the dead person? Oh, listen, fix the bug where input's made while the shop is open. We translate to battlefield unintentional pain is part of it. Yeah,
Yep.
got that. I would like to point out in that game we played, I think, yes, it was right at the end. Right at the end when we played that bot game and I was Ash, I went to see if I could shoot the enemy shopkeeper with my volley of arrows. And you know how when you use an ability you have to left click.
Yep.
Sorry, yeah, you left click, you can't right click. So I open up the ability, I go to attack him, suddenly the buy window comes up and I walk onto the sub platform. I'm trying to spam the exit button but I keep missing it because I'm panicking and I die.
Oh.
So yeah, there's some big problems. I need to test it, see if we can actually buy stuff at the enemy store. I'd go to their store and buy a whole bunch of site warps.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then the patch notes for League of Legends version 1.0.0.140. So many O's! Now, if I had some sort of, decent preparation skills, I would have prepared, the right to use somebody's song in this sort of bit and have a break here, but I don't have music and I don't... Well, I kind of want a break, but I kind of don't want to sit you guys through a period of nothing happening for a while. So, how do you guys feel? Do you guys want a break, or should we keep pressing on?
Well,
Well, there's three of us. We could do a barbershop trio.
Oh.
acapella.
Dave, you stopped when I started.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
With the delay with Skype, I don't think that'll work.
Yeah, you're right there.
And that would defeat the purpose of a break, because the break is traditionally used for us to go and have a drink and get some food. So do you guys want a break or not?
I'm pretty good actually. Carry on. Get out, it's
I would
Sorry.
mind a little bit of a break, but thought I had some bloody royalty-free music on my computer, but it doesn't look like I do.
I do.
What I really want is...
That's like 30 royalty-free
it's not
songs.
on my computer, I can't use it now, can I? I'm the one doing the live stream, ya boys. What I want everyone to go and listen to is Draux the Shredder's Laser-Guided Affection. That's the song I feel...
my laser-guided affection.
But not
So
sung
you
by
don't
him.
want to sing with us, but you're fine to sing by yourself.
So if you won't go and listen to that song, we will be about 3 minutes. I'll start the stream up again when we're back. Well, I'll figure out how I'll do it. Talk to you guys in a bit. Okay, it's no longer streaming the sound. Rock God. You should come back at the start of the thing and just start freaking and not, I don't know. My mouth is full of nuts. I really hope it's not recording this. So yeah, you guys have got like 2 minutes to do stuff. Yeah, it's just a conversation. There's no stage or face involved. Acting is fun. Except when you're in... I heard about that. From Craig. Oh, yeah. Okay, we've got about 2 minutes left of our break, so I'm going to fill my mouth with nuts. That's an awesome name. Your mother? I have 12 Skype messages from the James, Evan, Daniel, Andrew, Nick call. Yep. Yeah, I got through my nuts. Can you guys talk for a sec? That's good. I think it's transmitting your voice. If it's not, I feel like a dick. Like, it was right at the start, but I don't know. I've been on the stream the whole time. No one's posted anything since the start. Okay, you guys ready to get going? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What was that, 99? I was trying to give a countdown and you throw in 99. Welcome back to the League of Legends patch podcast, starring Ahrtimmer and Reverse and Real Impact.
Oh,
That
God.
was really, really loud. My roommates probably now hate me. So, we've talked about the patch, but we haven't talked about the new champion, Darius. What's his title? Hang on, patch notes.
Hand of Noxus.
Hand of Noxus. Basically, Garen with a bigger axe and
Yeah,
no
I
sword.
mean, my nickname for him, Darius, the Garen of Noxus.
Yes.
Yo! I haven't played him. Tell me about him, guys.
Alright, well, let's see, Hemorrhage, passive, stacked 5 times. Each stack deals damage over a 5-second period, I believe it is.
This is true.
To be completely honest, the damage from it, pretty negligible. I've never really noticed much. I have scored a couple of kills from it, but fairly negligible damage.
Combined with Ignite, it messes you up, especially if you manage to escape with a bit of health, thinking, oh, I got away. Wait, I'm on fire and I'm bleeding. Oh.
But combine that with his, with Crippling Strike and Notching Guillotine, that's where it really shines.
Yeah.
To me, he's the melee bruiser version of Twitch.
Because
that
with Crippling Strike, it's his next attack is attack and movement speed are reduced on the target, and he deals so much percentage extra damage. So I think it's 20% per level. So I think the max level is something like
And
double
Crippling
damage.
Strike's cooldown is lower the more bloodied the target. So basically, if they're already bleeding, he doesn't need to cut the artery as hard, and so he doesn't put as much effort in and can put effort in again later.
Yeah.
I tried to make that make sense in a logical world, but this is League of Legends. We have hamsters that kill giant doom horrors of the void.
You're trying to bring physics into League of Legends? Get out!
But I don't wanna.
But
He's also got his Decimate, which is Q. Darius
So
stacks in a right
fun.
circle.
so fun. I love the targeting reticle for it. But, I mean, particularly for farming minions, that move is sensational.
Kinda Hecarim, but less 50% or now 66% damage to minions. So it's kind of axe spinning, it's kind of range, has some weird stuff going on.
I get the feeling that if Darius was made earlier, instead of his swing doing 50 times extra damage on the outside, it would have done 50 times less damage on the inside. I kind of get the feeling that that's how they would have made him
And
earlier.
it had a higher damage on it.
Yeah, it's had a higher damage on it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. But it's kind of
I'm
like
trying to
they
think
feel
of
like...
how that would make a difference in the mathematics of the game, and I'm pretty sure there would be a difference, but I can't for the life of me come up with one.
There would be, I know there is, but I can't think of the words to explain it.
Yep. We've discussed Crippling Strike. Apprehend. Hones his axe. Isn't honing your axe kind of... Oh, right. Hones his axe, granting him passive armor penetration. I should have read that well.
Yeah,
When
it goes up
activated.
to 20 or 25%. Can't remember what it maxes out
I
at.
think it's 25, but I don't...
Yeah, I think it's 5% per level.
When activated, sweeps up his enemies with the axe's hook and pulls them to him.
Surprisingly, this actually does no damage. That entire move has no damage.
That
input.
surprised me when I first took a look at the tooltip for it. It's like, I was expecting even just a little bit of damage.
Like a Shin Taunt, something like that.
But it's no damage whatsoever on it.
Which I suppose is,
over
yeah,
here.
you look at the crap that he can pull off, it's just, wow. You never want to get into a one-on-one fight on this guy. I've been seriously...
Unless you're Tristana. Because if you're Tristana, he will attempt to pull you in and you will jump over his axe. Done it. Been that guy.
Then Noxian Guillotine.
Yep.
So damn satisfying.
Leaps to the enemy champion, not leaps into the air, and strikes a lethal blow, dealing true damage. This damage
I
increases
love...
for each stack of hemorrhage on the target. If Noxian Guillotine is a killing blow, its cooldown is refreshed.
You know what I love?
With hemorrhage stacks, if you have all 5 stacks on, that's double the damage.
20% per stack, yeah. You know what I love about it? The animation. You pointed out something to me, Real Impact, not that long ago, about how there are certain points in an animation that if you can hold or you can keep something, it'll increase the amount of damage that it appears to do. And the fact that he goes, hut, stays in the air, and then it comes down.
He freezes in midair for like
It's that
3 or
slight
4.
pause.
Just like, bang!
I'd guess at about 4 to 6 frames or thereabouts is what he holds himself in the air for. I'd have to actually sit down and take a closer look at it, but if just that little pause in the air where he's not moving at all before he suddenly crashes down on him,
It looks,
just adds so much more impact behind it.
looks really, really awesome.
Yeah, the animators in this game have gotten really good. I mean, you look at Nautilus, he has 3 different running animations depending on how fast he's going.
The new Ash one does as well.
Yeah, she does. She's got a walking one, which is actually very, very similar to Varus's, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Because he has that kind of creep walk, like, I'm watching you.
Well, Varus's starting one is entirely stalking Predator.
And then he kind of does the stalking kind of silent run thing where it looks really cool.
In the case of Ash, though, she's a ranger, not so much a predator. Like you can tell, she is walking, and she is obviously cautious with it.
Yeah.
But nature doesn't bother her.
Nope.
She doesn't have to hide herself from it. That's what I get from it anyway. That might just be me looking into it a bit too much.
Yeah.
Who really cares? Denied. Your interest is denied.
You know I pick apart the animations.
It's kind of your thing. Like
I
my thing is
joined-
picking apart the mechanics and trying to find ways to make them work where they shouldn't.
I joined
Kind of my thing.
Well, I joined the League of Legends community around the time of Vector, pretty much. He came out before I downloaded
Victor.
the entire thing. And if you look at Victor, when he uses his death ray, the animation of the little arm thingy is dynamic depending on where you attack from, because it'll point in the direction it goes to the direction it ends. It's not a hard-coded animation. I'm
That
sure it's
blew
not.
your mind, didn't it?
It did, because I just looked at everything else and thought it's just so much better than that one little tiny snake thing is better than the entirety of the rest of League of Legends.
Did you just say one little tiny snake thing?
On his arm, on the shoulder.
It's
on the
a
waist.
hand. It
It's a
is a
snake.
third arm hand.
Yeah, dynamics when done right can look very, very good. One of my fellow students here, back in his first year, he animated a raptor, and the tail on it was a dynamics-driven tail.
Wow.
Are we gonna get on with the show, or are you guys gonna talk like animating mumbo jumbo all night? Because I mean, I'm happy to
Sorry.
listen, but I won't have any input.
Sorry.
So, this being its own little segment where we talk about the new champion, we've now discussed his abilities to a small extent. We should probably structure this segment to some degree, so I feel we should talk now about his strengths.
Okay.
What makes Darius, really, really strong? What are his powerful effects?
Well,
What's he good at?
similar to like with his Noxian Guillotine's cooldown refresh, if he kills someone with it, it's similar to Katarina's passive. It means that he is potentially a snowball champ in a team fight.
Yep.
As a,
Almost
I mean-
like Tristana just hopping all over the place.
Mm.
But his like bang, bang.
Because I mean,
More
certainly
time the right way.
whenever I play Katarina, in team fight situations, as soon as I get that one kill to start it rolling, you can start dismantling the other team. Because, I mean, all you need is about 2, maybe 3 kills, and you've got her ultimate back,
Yeah.
and every single kill, all of her Q, W, and E refresh.
Wow.
But that's why Katarina can be so dominant in team fights. As soon as the kills and assists start rolling, she's just flashing all over the bloody place.
I've noticed one thing with Darius, you really don't want to take him on in a one-on-one fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Good
know
luck getting
exactly
away.
what it is about him, but one, you're not getting away because you try, you're coming back, man.
Well, you know, the guaranteed 600 true damage. It's...
Yeah.
You pretty much have to kill him fast. That's how you beat him. You kill him fast, you have a lot of health. Armor does not help with this, man.
Avoid him attacking you. If you're a good ranged champion, I feel you can pick him down quickly. We've already gone into weaknesses. We've barely discussed strengths now, but I feel he's got some really, really good one-on-one potential. And in a team fight, his ultimate can be amazing.
Decimate as well. Don't forget that's
That is true.
full 360 AOE.
Certainly.
Um,
But I feel he's somewhat lacking in harassing.
I beg to differ.
Really?
Decimate's range is actually quite large, and you got to remember on the edge of it, so on the blade of the axe, is where he deals the most damage.
So we're
I've had
talking
plenty of-
harem here, or are we talking larger or smaller?
It's larger than
Oh.
Hikarim's Rampage.
It is
That would, because harem, like, you can harass with it, but it's difficult to get away with it. If it's a bit larger than that, it would make it easier to get away with the harass. I've also found he's got massive base health.
Yep, he's got pretty good base health. Just like his counterpart for Demacia Garen, both of them end up fairly beefy just from stats.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out, Apprehend,
Yeah.
you know how it moves, like, Blitzcrank's one of the only other people that has ability like it. Blitzcrank's good at, what is it?
Just
Poking
something.
or just, being annoying in lane, because he can target a certain person and pull them out as long as there's area
Yeah.
There's a clear area for his arm to go through. And when he does that, as long as his teammates are ready, you can pretty much hurt them because it's going to be 2 against 1, which pretty much turns that into a you need to get out. You can't stay there and try and trade back the damage. But with Apprehend, because it doesn't worry about anything else that's in front, it's a much more reliable source, but it doesn't have the range. But it's the fact that they can get behind minions, pull them towards you.
Everything to you.
That's the thing.
I'm not sure if
Any
it includes
champion-
minions.
It does include minions.
So if you, you don't often want to do this in lane because of the way abilities work, but if you and your teammate, your lane mate, stick really close together, he could end up in a situation where he doesn't want to pull you because he knows he'll get both, and if he gets both, you'll probably beat him up if you're the right champions.
If you know that, then you're going to want to lane with like a Galio or something like that if you're Darius. Darius and his Galio, because then he's like, what do? Do we split apart? Do we say it again? I'm so confused.
Yeah. I see him being a very, very strong solo lane. I've not played many games with him yet, but he seems to take to the solo lane like flies to honey.
I don't know, with solo lanes you generally want something that's going to help you get away, because when you're in solo lane you do ganked by the jungle quite often, which is why I prefer Jarvan solo over almost anyone. Now I still like Singe solo, but Jarvan's great because he has that surround slow, which gives him a shield, and he also has the ability to just throw a spike, go to it, and also if you choose flash like I do, you can just go ultimate for you, flash out, run back, and they're stuck in your ultimate, just going, oh, great.
Yeah, I've seen you do that a few times.
Does Decimate... I keep thinking things here, which is kind of what the show's about. Does Decimate interrupt his movement?
I don't think so.
That's annoying, because that's kind of Hecarim's thing. I feel that if Decimate interrupts, or doesn't interrupt his movement, he can, drive-bys with it. It would be kind of really annoying.
I think, looking back on it, I think it might, but the thing is, it is a very rapid animation.
Ah.
So I think
that's
what
I was
might
hoping
be
that it wasn't, because I kind of wanted it to be a bit slower than it is if it's as fast as I've seen it a few times. Yeah, it is really, really quick. I kind of wanted it to be a slower ability.
I'd like to quickly point out, in case someone hears what I said about Jarvan having abilities, Darius does have a slow, but you got to remember it's an empowered strike, which means you have to turn around, basic attack, then run. And if you turn around basic attack, they also get their chance to basic attack, and maybe that person you ganked is the owner, in which case, no. You have a slow, she has a stun. You did.
This is true.
Yeah, stun beats slow.
Yeah, so, carry on.
Yeah.
Why don't I just have a mental image of bloody rock, paper, scissors with CCs?
Yeah, except nothing beats Fiddles for you.
No, it doesn't.
Agreed.
So
except Udyr. It's been a long time since I've seen it happen. But back in the days where old Fiddlesticks was coming into popularity, this is just before they nerfed him. Basically, people went, hey, hang on, Fiddlesticks can stack a Mega Sorcerer super, super easy and just dominate the game to the point where he doesn't die and has 20 kills. How do we fight Fiddlesticks? Sometimes in normal you'd have 2 Fiddlesticks, in which case you have the most hilarious fight in existence, because it's like, I'm a drain you, no, I'm a drain you, no, I'm a drain you. And the health barely moves, unless one of them has Ignite and the other one has something else, and so, you're ignited, you're not healing as much and you're taking more damage. I am the Fiddlesticks. Anyway, on with the story. This is my little anecdote to tell you how to beat Fiddlesticks. What you do, you get an Udyr. Because Fiddlesticks became popular, then Udyr became popular. You know why? Because Udyr has enough health to survive a drain with relative ease. Usually seeing as the fact he'll put Turtle Stance on as he runs into you. You'll fear, you'll drain, I'm achieving nothing here, am I? Because he's got a freaking shield. Then, the fear wears off. He punches you in the nose. You get stunned. Your drain's not coming back for a while. Your fear's not coming back for a while. You can't run because you're fiddlesticks and there's nobody slower. Bear punch, bear punch, bear punch, tiger punch, tiger punch, tiger punch, bear punch, tiger punch.
No, it's tiger poke.
Whatever it is, you're dead! If you are having trouble with the fiddlesticks, if you're playing against me when I'm had a bad night and just want to roll faces for a while, and so I'm playing the fiddlesticks, if you're up against me, play Udyr. I mean, yeah, I play normal, so you don't know who I am, but Udyr can take him on. If you want to fight fiddles, have no fear. Ironic. Oddly ironic.
I gotta say something here. We're talking about good fiddles counters, right?
Yep.
Now, Udyr, definitely great because you can stun. I feel, personally, the reason Fiddlesticks gets so many kills is because of his ultimate. And I've came to the conclusion that Vayne is the best counter for Fiddlesticks because Fiddlesticks, wow, and then she's just from a distance, you're back to your base, sir. Bang! And then your whole team runs off. Fiddles is way back somewhere.
Tristana is also really good because you can reduce healing him, and then jump on him, and bust a shot, or bust a shot and then jump away.
But what you got to point out this though, their knockback is an ultimate. Vayne's
is not.
Vayne's not an ultimate, so it's the most reliable source of getting rid of Fiddlesticks as fast as possible.
If in a teamfight situation, Poppy could do it as well.
Yeah, true.
Get the master unity on someone else and then charge her out.
Yes, but
the shield, yes.
That involves an ultimate, and it involves you getting close so much, because if you don't have the ultimate, you're likely to die. It's still a good option, but I still feel Vayne's the best counter.
Other than that, there's also Poppy's passive. You got to keep that in mind. If an enemy's attack is going to deal over so much, I think it's 10% of her...
10% of her maximum health.
Of her... No, not her maximum, her current
health. Okay.
Half of the damage is taken off. Her passive actually gets better the lower her health is.
That's
why you can have Poppy survive in some situations you would never expect. And that's also one reason why tank Poppy isn't all that good.
So now that I've taken this conversation to a very odd tangent...
Yeah, we keep doing this, don't we?
This one was my fault. I'll take all the blame. We've discussed a little bit about Darius. Now I got to put forward the question, and it's been on the I've been on the forums for about 5 minutes today, and there's about 7 different threads about Darius and how OP he is. How OP is Darius?
My opinion, I don't know.
Honestly, he is strong, definitely, but I don't feel he's OP. Maybe a slight reduction on the decimate damage.
Yep.
But
maybe it should increase by 17 with each stack, or 18 or something.
Nah, on Noxian Guillotine, I'm not too concerned about it.
Yeah?
Because the thing is, Darius is restricted by mana. He doesn't get very much mana himself.
Okay, it's like Jarvan. I get near the end of
most,
700.
I've had the mana to, in a teamfight situation where I've managed to get the killing strike with Noxian Guillotine.
Yep.
At most, I've only been able to do one other Noxian Guillotine afterwards. Simply because I ran out of mana to use it.
The thing I'd like to point out, and this is a just direct response to a forum thread that I didn't actually go into, but I saw the title of and then read the short description. There was a discussion saying, and basically quoting here, why doesn't Cho'Gath's ultimate refresh on kill and assist? Because Darius is just as, it's like 10 times better and rah rah rah.
I'll slap you.
I agree with reverse. If I met this person, I want to pimp slap them into the ground.
Can I explain why he's an idiot?
You may.
Go ahead.
I was going to, but you go ahead, because I don't hear much rage from you.
Okay. The main reason is, if you do Darius ultimate with no stacks, what does it do, like 200 true damage?
275.
Yeah.
I believe it's base.
Cho'Gath's, 900 true damage to champions? Is that
Base of about 650, plus like a 1/3 AP ratio.
Yeah, you don't have to get any kind of stacks on someone when you're Cho'Gath. It's
Walk
just
to them and they die.
Yeah, if you had an instant cooldown refresh, or even like down to 3 seconds or something, he would be pretty much the pentakill champion of the game. Because
Just phenomenal on everyone.
Because some people's natural abilities, the natural damage of with no extra bonus damage or anything, is over 200. Some people have like 280 or 260, and a straight up no stacked ultimate from Darius only will do about that much. So
I play Cho'Gath as a tank, and there are champions, enemy champions, who I can basically, okay, you're standing at your tower. You've been knocked into the sky, I'm gonna walk into you, I'm gonna attack you, you hit the ground, I eat you, you're dead. Game over, man, game over. So, Darius can't do that. To get the most out of his ultimate, he has to walk in and hit them 5 times.
Yeah, most people won't build him 3 Phantom Dancers. So
his ultimate is no more powerful than Cho'Gath's, which is the only comparable ultimate in terms of the fact that it deals true damage. The only other comparable ultimate is Garen's, because it's an execution move. That's kind of the point. Yes, Garen's doesn't refresh. Garen's
that's because
a
it
whole
can
lot
do
more
up to
damage.
9,000 damage if you do it right.
Garen's is effectively percentage damage. If you have 10,000 maximum health, and Garen pops his ultimate on you when you've taken, 2/3 health, you'll die. Or 2/3 damage, sorry. You will die. Darius won't kill you. Not even close. Because it's not based on a percentage, it's not based on health lost. So, in terms of comparing his ultimate, which is what most people seem to consider overpowered, to the most comparable ultimates, he's pretty much on par with them. It's slightly less powerful than the other main execution, being... Hit me with this one, Real Impact. Called
Damartian Judgment.
Damartian Judgment.
No, Damartian Justice, sorry.
Well done. You ruined my thing. Anyway, so it's less powerful than that, but gets its cooldown refresh, and so can be used in a team fight in ways remarkably similar to Rocket Jump. I keep coming back to that. I love AP Tristana.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed.
I'd like to point out, there are actually quite a lot of execution moves in the game. You've got Neely's Bite, which is a kitty.
Yeah,
you've
but not
got Ribbon.
execution ultimates.
Yeah,
She's got one, true. I mean, there's quite a few, but I'm trying to think of ones that are the most comparable to Darius. The closest to what he does.
no one really has a stack-based execution, though.
This is true. He does, which is what makes him different.
Oh, no, the Volley Bear's W, because you have to get 3 stacks before you can use it. And
Well,
then you
Volley
wait
Please
for
stop
Ultimate.
shutting down my point.
We're looking at ultimates here, Danny.
I know. I just wanted to point out, because I got to...
And besides, it's not stacking on enemies.
Yeah.
There's always similarities, but the most similar things, it is no more powerful than, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
not...
the numbers stack up. It's not an OP ultimate. Apprehend. Limited range. Passive armor penetration's really nice, but it means armor penetration items, particularly percentage, aren't that good because it will hit the cap very, very quickly.
Then, of course, there's the fact that the actual active deals no damage.
No
All
damage.
it does is drag him in. No damage.
I've seen so many people miss with it because they've overestimated its range.
Mm.
Or other people miss with it because they rocket jumped away. Back to AP Tristana. Haha. Crippling Strike. I can't think of a way that it would be overpowered or underpowered. It's kind of a CC ability. What's it like?
Oh,
Like, in terms of
honestly,
power rating.
Real actually,
Impact. What does the scouter say about his power level?
give me a second. We have the LOL wiki to get me numbers.
I like numbers.
This
We
is
all like
champions. Where are we? Darius. Okay, we're looking at Crippling Strike here. At max level, it deals double regular damage
Yep.
with a 40% slow.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like having a sheet.
8 second standard cooldown, with the cooldown being reduced by 1 second for each stack of hemorrhage. So that's a 3 second cooldown at max stacks. So it's
Now
a good.
that's pretty heavy. How long is the duration on the move, the slow?
2 seconds.
That makes sense because you can
'Cause
decrease.
It's not a very long slow. It's not the most powerful slow. Probably the most powerful aspect of it is that it affects attack speed. Not many slows do that, but
About the only other one that comes to mind is Nunu's Ice Ball.
and wither.
Yep.
Nasus's wither. Fire outstrips it. Yeah, it doesn't do damage. I would be hard pressed to justify it being crippling strike being an overpowered ability. I can't think of a way it is. I mean, it's powerful, but again, it's single target. It's got short duration. Yeah, it's got a really slow cooldown, and it does decent damage, but it'll eat up your mana like there's no tomorrow. And you got to keep the 5 stacks on them. Does it consume the stacks? No, I wouldn't think so.
No, it
Nothing
doesn't.
does. Hey, I'd like to point out something here.
That's probably why it's so good in a one-on-one fight.
Just thinking about this, Darius is quite a bit like Talon, because if you play Darius just like, hey, I'm going to attack people and use my abilities when I feel like them, you're not really going to do that much because his abilities work with each other and his passive works with his abilities. So if you use it in the right order, you can do a lot of damage. Same thing with Callum because of his passive and the fact that he does more damage to certain people when they're in certain effects, and he has those effects he can plant on people. If you just play him however, whenever you whatever you want, you're not going to do as much damage as he can potentially do. So he's really only.
There's a very finite number of combos you can pull off.
Actually, I missed something about hemorrhage. But hemorrhage when he's level 18 deals 36 damage over 5 seconds.
Per stack.
Naturally stacks up to 5 times, with a 0.4 bonus attack damage ratio on it.
Oh yeah.
But the other part of his passive, I completely forgot this one. For every bleeding enemy near him, for every bleeding champion near him, I should say, he gains 5% extra movement speed.
5% isn't a huge amount. It adds up to about 15 movement speed for most champions.
25% total.
Yeah, in a team fight, if you do that spin, you've just got instantly 25% move, because if in a team fight you spin, you're going to hit everyone.
Yeah.
But that'd contribute to why he's so hard to get away. Apprehends drag him in, crippling strike to slow him down, and they're bleeding, so that's a little bit of extra
and he can
speed.
deal a lot of damage with crippling strike, but it's one-on-one orientated. Decimate. I'm neither here nor there on. I wouldn't say it's overpowered. I'd like to have a really close comparison to it and Hecarim's spinny slashy. It's all a spinny slash, whatever it is.
Let's see.
Let's not do that now. I don't really feel like it right now.
Yeah,
but
fair
I will
enough.
be crunching the numbers in the future. I'm very curious, but I wouldn't justify it as overpowered. The only thing I really would like to know about Darius, beyond what we've already said, hemorrhage causes bleeding. Very, very similar to Talon's bleeding. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Talon's bleeding doesn't provide line of sight, does it?
Let me see here. Come on, so many bloody champions now. What are you up to, about 95, 96?
When you say, well, they've reached the hundreds, haven't they?
I think so.
Yeah.
Not quite. Not quite.
When you say line of sight, do you mean like the eyeballs?
The eyeballs above your head.
Noxian diplomacy reveals their location for the duration of the bleed, which lasts for 6 seconds.
Because one of the things about it, certainly on its release, and I'm not sure if he had the reveal on release, the concept was that you'd slice them, and then you'd be able to follow the blood trail. Difficult to do, but if they ran off, you could do it. I know you're going to be able to do the same thing with hemorrhage. Granted, the blood doesn't last as long, and it's certainly not a large blood trail, particularly if it's only a few stacks. But I'm curious to know if you're a stealth champion with hemorrhage
does-
on you, can you see the blood on the ground?
I don't think so. I don't think the blood actually drops to the ground for the hemorrhage particle effect.
I'm pretty sure it does because I've seen the blood trail on the ground.
And I'm gonna have to check that next time I play him then.
Something I really want to know. Yeah, it doesn't mean much for Evelyn or Twitch because their stealth will be denied by them being hit.
Mm.
But Shaco, can you figure out where Shaco was teleported to by watching the blood trail?
We should start a custom game and check this.
We should. Maybe after the show and after I've had dinner, because it is 7:04 Australian Eastern Standard Time.